Her name is Sarah. To some, she's just the big girl in the office. To others, she's the one who always declines invites. Most never ask why. They just assume they already know the story. But today, I want to share with you the story behind the size, the silent pain, the quiet courage, and the reminder that sometimes the kindest thing we can do is see someone for who they are, not how they appear. Sarah wakes up and stares at her reflection. Before the day even begins, she's already fighting the voice that says, "You're not enough." Every step outside her house is a battlefield. People don't need to say it. Their eyes scream it. When she orders food, they watch her tray. When she enters a gym, they look like she doesn't belong. Even when she walks down the street, cars slow down, not in admiration, but in mockery. Sarah doesn't want pity. She wants dignity. But that's hard to come by in a world that judges people before it knows their story. At 8 years old, Sarah's parents fought every night. Food was the only time they were quiet. She learned early that meals brought peace. At 10, her father left. At 12, she was comforting her younger brother while their mother cried in the dark. By 14, she had her first binge episode. Sarah wasn't eating for pleasure. She was eating to feel safe, to feel something, to feel loved. When kids teased her at school, she smiled back. When teachers ignored her, she worked harder. But inside, her worth was shrinking while her body grew. Now 32, Sarah wears a mask every day. She's the funny big girl, the helper, the one who always says yes. Because if she's useful, maybe they'll overlook her size. She never talks about how seatbelts hurt her hips, or how she scans every room for chairs without arms, or how every romantic rejection gets blamed on her weight, even when it had nothing to do with it. What people see is a body. What they don't see is the battle. We live in a culture that shames fat bodies but profits off their pain. One moment it's love yourself. The next, it's fix yourself. Billions of dollars are made convincing people like Sarah that their worth depends on a number. Even doctors sometimes overlook the real issue. You just need to lose weight, they say, ignoring signs of thyroid issues or trauma. Instead of treating the cause, they blame the symptom. We talk about health, but often we mean appearance. And in doing so, we hurt people who are already doing their best to survive. Sarah has dreams. She wants to fall in love. She wants to hike, to dance, to wear bright colors without being stared at. She wants to be seen for her talents, not her waistline. But shame is a heavy thing. It teaches you to stay small, even when you know you were made for more. She's tried. Oh, how she's tried. Keto, fasting, supplements, workouts at 5 a.m. And still, she walks into a room and hears laughter, sees judgment, so she gives up. Not on herself, but on the idea that she'll ever be enough for this world. You didn't laugh when others did. You didn't avoid eye contact. You saw the kindness in her eyes. You saw how she held space for others but never took any for herself. And you said, "Hey, I'm heading to the cafe, wanna come?" Just like that, something shifted. Sarah wasn't the fat girl to you. She was just Sarah, one invitation, one smile, one moment of seeing the person instead of the pounds. That's how change begins. Emotional intelligence isn't about reading people's minds. It's about reading their hearts. It's being self-aware enough to recognize our own biases. It's regulating the urge to judge. It's responding to pain with presence, not platitudes. Empathy sounds like, "I see you. You matter. You don't need to change to be worthy of kindness." And for Sarah, that changed everything. Sarah still battles her thoughts. Some days are harder than others. But now, she's not alone. She's started therapy. She's journaling. She's walking not to shrink herself, but to celebrate her body. She's choosing clothes that reflect who she is, not just what hides her figure. She's learning to receive love, not just give it, because someone took the time to listen, to include, to love her without conditions. There are Sarahs everywhere. They don't always speak up, but they feel the stares, the jokes, the silence, and they are waiting, not to be saved, but to be seen. So what will you choose? Will you be someone who whispers behind backs? Or someone who speaks life into others? Will you laugh with the crowd? Or stand beside the one left out? You don't have to fix anyone. Just love them loud enough that they start to believe they're already whole. If this story moved you, share it, because kindness can heal more than we know. And it starts with seeing people, not their size.